digitization or bringing out intelligence chatbots, it should not be a part of one department only. That IT is having a chatbot, or digital is having a chatbot, or HR is having a chatbot. One has to think holistically, and an integrative approach has to be done. That entire organization is connected through these intelligent systems.
Hi all, welcome to Engati Sports. I'm Drishti Shah from the Engati team, and today we have the pleasure of welcoming Jagmohan to our interview series. I would like to begin with just a quick intro of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual local chatbot platform, available across 14 channels, 40,000 bots created across 186 countries in every and Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by INC.com, TechWorld, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now for our guest, Jagmohan Singh is commonly known as the coach's coach and is one of the few certified coaches at Marshall Goldsmith Stakeholder Centered Coach, and also certified in situational leadership too. For more than 25 years, he has been working with executive teams to measurably improve their leadership and organizational effectiveness. Top leaders consistently commend his results. Driven personality combined with confidence, energetic, and friendly nature, he has also in-depth knowledge of business and cross-cultural understanding. He has been associated with leading organizations like Warner Lambert, UCP, Wockhardt, and many others. So, hi, Jagmohan. We are really happy to have you on Engati.
Hi, Drishti. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so starting with the first question that I have for you is that how will business transform in the post-pandemic era, and how should leaders drive these transformations?
I think all the businesses today are stretched out because of the pandemic which is there. And the earlier we realized that this is going to be new normal, the better is for us, for the businesses. And the biggest responsibility lies in the hands of the leaders. Because what I have seen is, I just give an example here of one of the friends who's a business leader who's into a consulting organization. And he mentioned that, he went to his office after almost 3 months and was getting fumigated and sanitized. And I just asked him that how you plan to, rethink and reorganize the targets for the post-pandemic era. I must appreciate his thought, because he is running a very successful business. And he said that, yes, I am more concerned about my people, because I want them to be employed at the same time. I also want to serve my customers. So since he's into consulting, so he's definitely concerned about that. But at the same time, there was a concern that his customers may not be giving that kind of, revenue, what was being given pre-pandemic era. So it is definitely going to be a little challenging for us, wherein we will have to, the businesses will have to, cut some of the cost and at the same time rethink about the targets for 2020. At the same time, we have to find out new normals, the new ways of engaging the customers. I always emphasize that this can be an opportunity, I will say, which was not explored, particularly in India. In fact, many of the businesses, I give you another example, it's been a boon to them, because this is going to be saving a lot of real estate business also for them. I mean, costings for them. So working from home is also going to be new normal. Post-pandemic era, there's going to be a lot of realignment with respect to people working from home and working in office. So the flexible hours, flexible timing will be the order of the day post-pandemic era. I have a friend of mine who's working in a multinational company in US. He was in India some time back. I mentioned in my video series, Dinobytes. When he came to my office, I asked him, so how far is your office? So he said that it's about half an hour drive, but I don't go to office every day. I was surprised because this was pre-COVID era. So he said, I go whenever is required, but I have my office in home. And if required, when I go to office, I don't have a cabin. I can sit anywhere. And he's at a director level position. So that is the new normal. They had already accepted it. But in India, we are a little bound by the cabins and the designations. So everybody will have to rethink about it. But at the same time, I must say, all the leaders, all the businesses, that let us see an opportunity in this, and new businesses are going to emerge in the post-pandemic era. I hope I was able to answer that particular question.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So how important is that these leaders align their mission and vision of the company, and how does it have a direct impact on employee experience and also then to customer experience?
It's going to be balanced for the leaders, because on one hand they will have to balance it out on the vision and mission of the company, which is being serving the customers. Normally the missions and the vision has that to be the most preferred organization, best in the customer service. So these are the normal languages which are in the mission, and to be the best in their category. So on one hand, they have to serve the customers. On the other hand, they have to ensure the revenues are also generated for the business continuity. At the same time, they also have to ensure that the employee experience is also to the best of their abilities. So that is why I'm saying it is going to be a balancing trick for the leaders. I would say that if the leaders, create an engagement ecosystem wherein the employees are an equal part of the strategy for the future, I think leaders can create a belongingness in the organization, and it's a golden opportunity for the leaders to, percolate the vision and mission of the company to the employees across geographies, and that is something which is going to align the vision and mission of the organization with the end employee and customer, or that is internal customer. So that is where it is the prime responsibility that I sell as a leader. I sell my mission, I sell my vision, I sell my KRA, my KPI to the last straw, last end part of my employee circle. At the same time, I also ensure that I get a buy-in of the employees and engage them in creating the right kind of customer experience. If I have their buy-in, then they will definitely be giving the customer experience with the best of their abilities.
Yes, absolutely. That's definitely true. Like that goes hand in hand, so it will work out both ways. Yeah. Why is it important that leaders include employees' inputs while crafting digital marketing strategies, and why do you think AI and tech will have a role to play in these strategies?
With respect to leaders, as I mentioned, it is a continuity of the second question, that why should leaders include employees in crafting the digital marketing strategies? Because although digital marketing strategies are going to the end customer directly on a digital means, but at the same time, it is very, very important that a blended approach is there. I feel that in the post-pandemic era, it is not only the digital strategies which is going to work, but it is going to be the phygital strategies which is going to work. Because to start with, you acquire the customer, you get the awareness and the acquisition of the customer through digital means. But at the same time, in order to have the continuous customer relationship on a long-term basis, you need people face-to-face meeting, maybe via Zoom or whatever means it is there, ensuring that this continuity of relationship is maintained. So it is very, very important that I engage, I include all my employees in my digital strategies. I first train them, I make them aware, I get their buy-in, and then of course, along with them, I roll it out for my customers, and the follow-up of which will be done by my employees. Because I cannot, as a leader, cannot go to my customers and follow up. It is my employees who are going to follow up. It is my employees at the sales end, at the business development end, at the digital marketing end. So if I do not sell my thought process to my employees, they will not be aligned to me, and there will be lack of accountability. So it's very, very essential that I align everybody in my stream down the line with my thought process. Second is that what is the role that AI and tech is going to play in these strategies? I think it is and tech is going to play a bigger role in particularly post-pandemic era, because AI is going to hasten the strategies, the funneling part. When I'm giving my resources, my solutions to the customers, AI will help the faster decision making. And as it said in healthcare, that artificial intelligence is helping the diagnosis much faster. Although the major decision lies with the doctor himself or herself. Similarly, for when we are trying to sell the scenario-based selling to the customer, it is very, very important that AI helps us in taking the right kind of scenario for each customer. Now, in this era, it was pre-COVID and of course post-COVID also, it is the era of hyper-personalization, and everybody wants a personalized solution. And if everybody is wanting a hyper-personalized solution, AI and tech is the answer to that. Because when we start doing it manually, it can take ages, but AI can do it in seconds. And that's exactly what I've mentioned in my recent launched book called Are You a Digital Dinosaur? And there's a specific chapter dedicated to these technologies, the AI-based solutions, which are helping the decision making much faster. It also covers that how leaders are very, very important in rollout of the digital strategies or change initiatives. What happens is that, Drishti, the thing is that most of the customers, they are very happy with the status quo. They are not aware what is in store for them, that if they continue with the status quo, what is their loss. So it is the responsibility of these, disruptors of disruptive technologies, the identifiers of artificial intelligence, that they make them aware that what are they in for a loss. I just give an example here. I have again another business person who still believes that only face to face is the best lot. So he was not ready to change. This was pre-COVID era. I was insisting that he had read my book. So I had said that he was discussing a particular chapter. I said, unless until do not bring technology in the business environment, you will be slowly becoming a dinosaur. No, he was pretty reluctant to bring out the technologies like Zoom or Google Meet, or I think Teams. So these are some of the things which we should bring out, and it can reduce a substantial number of costs. In comparison, another person who had introduced it, or even our company also introduced, was 6 months before the COVID era. We had launched Zoom, and we had saved substantial amount of money with respect to traveling, with respect to hotel stays, and that is something which made us prepare for the COVID era. So unless until we are proactive, we keep on experimenting. I don't say that all technologies will be useful, but at the same time, we have to keep on experimenting. We keep on finding out how relevant this technology will be from my end. So it is important that we use this technology and artificial intelligence and initiate those employee engagement initiatives and customer experience initiatives.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And like you said, that people who are proactive and who have already adopted that, so it was pretty easy for them to have a shift this COVID era, and not for those who didn't adopt or were hesitant to adopt that. So yeah,
that's right.
So talking about technology and AI, so how do you think cognitive intelligent chatbots and automation will change the customer service scenario?
In fact, cognitive intelligent chatbots, before I answer this, let me share with you, I was experimenting myself because, I am not a person who talk theory. I do a lot of, hands-on practical executions also. So when I'm talking about digital marketing strategies, I rolled out a Facebook campaign myself. I rolled out a Google campaign myself. I have my own YouTube channel. I make those videos and upload them. And when I was doing this Facebook campaign last time, I came across one of the chats. I can name it also ManyChat or other chats out there. So I try to, connect it with my Facebook, and I found that these cognitive intelligent chatbots are very, very useful, and it will help me to connect with my audience, be it a prospective customers or prospects, existing customers, to give them a response real time. That is where the error I had mentioned in my previous question, that everybody wants the answer like this. So if that is what my expectation is, why can't I use technology? And particularly those mature cognitive chatbots, intelligent chatbots, can help us out in connecting with my customers and the prospective clients on a real-time basis. So we have to train and use artificial intelligence. You have to use intelligent chatbots, machine learning, and create those intelligence in the chatbot so that they're able to answer. And in case they're not able to answer, they should be able to escalate to the right people so that the solutions to those prospective people, employees, or the customers are provided in time. Because if the expectations of the employees as well as the customers has gone up, so should technology be going up. If I am getting this experience in one particular service, say in a mobile, why can't I get another one? There are healthcare, apps which are there, which if I log in, it will clearly tell me that it will start chatting with me and what is my mental state, what is my physical state, and it will give me real-time data and start giving me a coaching kind of thing, that if I'm disturbed, it will start also giving me those kind of solutions that I come out of those negative mental state. So these cognitive intelligent chatbots are going to be a part of every technology. And I think since I'm making the website recent one, we have included the chatbot in the website itself, because customers can come any point of time, and they should be responded there, and that will give them a feeling of belongingness, that yes, we care. And that is exactly what should be part of our communication to the customers.
Absolutely, that is true. It is like a stepping stone, like you mentioned, that it will be a part of every organization going forward. So yeah, that would be something basic that people will try and implement now.
Yes.
So concluding, any other thoughts that you would like to share with our audience?
Yes, before I conclude, I would like to say that, I always emphasize in my book also, I've emphasized that, digitization or, bringing out intelligence chatbots, it should not be a part of one department only. That IT is having a chatbot, or digital is having a chatbot, or HR is having a chatbot. One has to think holistically, and an integrative approach has to be done, that entire organization is connected through these intelligent systems, and the leaders should be able to get the meaningful reports, the dashboards, by click of a button. And that is exactly the futuristic it is going to be. Some of the organizations who have been proactive, they have been working on that, and they are working on it. But the technology is changing so fast, we have to keep abreast with the latest technology and ensure that all departments, we should not be using a band-aiding technique. We have to use a collective technique. So if we are having a strategy which is a collective strategy, that is going to be a win-win strategy. If it is going to be a band-aiding strategy, that is going to be lose-lose strategy. Those organizations who are connected, e-connected, chatbot connected, data connected with meaningful dashboards, they are going to be the organizations of future. Those who don't change, please mark my words, they are going to be the dinosaurs of the tomorrow. So I think as leaders, it is a prime responsibility And at the same time, it's a big responsibility for organizations like you who have to make sure that if you have got a good product, make sure your prospective customers know about it and make them a real-time scenario where they can use it. Give them a scenarios where they can save cost, where they can engage more customers, increase their revenues, increase their profitability by use of these chatbots or the technology or the AI. If you create those kind of scenarios, you will be doing great good to the world of today and tomorrow. I wish you all the best for your chatbot and other solutions. And thank you very much for having me on board today.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Jagmohan. Your insights and the examples that you have shared are, really insightful and valuable. Yeah. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So we'll be back with a new episode with a brand new expert soon. So stay tuned and we'll see you around for the next one.